Ever since I was young, I've been deathly scared of the airport and planes in Vice City, but I recently had the idea to do something I've never done before, 100% complete what is probably my third favourite game of all time. I spent some time around the airport just looking at those ugly bastards. I even got very brave and had a little drag race with a plane during takeoff. The Driver, a notoriously unforgiving mission. A quick save outside the club to make restarting the mission quicker should it decide to fuck me. And fuck me it did, oh my brothers. Right where it hurts. Just look. Yeah, I clearly went through that marker and it didn't register. What the? And then the save got corrupted. A quick 6-hour grind later, I was back to almost exactly where I was. So, let's try this again. Having focused solely on catching up to where I'd been before my save corrupted, I'd been neglecting my airport acclimatization training. So where better to start than there? There are plenty of packages for me to find around here, with lots of exposure to those things. I'm still very uneasy in the airport itself, often taking slightly longer routes around places to not risk anything weird happening. Like what? I always feel like the game will just glitch out and spawn a plane in front of me, or teleport me somewhere I don't want to be, despite there being no evidence that those sorts of things can happen in this game. But yeah, I try to avoid it anyway. A few other packages from elsewhere on the map, and back to the airport because I was confusing packages I collected in my corrupted save with ones I still needed here, and boom, those are done. This alone is amazing to me. I know you may be watching this and thinking, what's the big deal? But I thought I'd never be able to collect all packages in this game, simply because of my stupid fear. A quick blast of Vigilante, which is very easy in a tank, and now I have 150 armour. Time for revenge, I reckon, on that mission, the Driver. Here's what you get for ruining my last save, you bloody bastard. And now I can finally do this bank job and be done with the Malibu. Oh, okay, nice one, Cam. Didn't your mother ever teach you to look both ways before you cross the road? An hour of collecting cars for the Sunshine Autos asset, including a quick trip to the airport. Hey, this seems to be getting easier, so let's do loose ends. This is one of the missions I mentioned last time that I've always avoided, because it involves landing a helicopter in the airport. I remember as a kid actually asking a friend to do it for me because I was too scared. And it's done. Now on to the pole position strip club asset. God, it's so boring, honest. And I can do corn crazy in this chopper checkpoint while I'm here. Time for more missions. The Love Fist missions were always a favourite of mine back in the day, unlike the biker gang missions, and with those out of the way I'll do Phil's missions for the first time ever. A little stunt boat challenge to prove the size of my cojones, and some surprisingly violent work as a cab driver, before taking to the streets in an ice cream van to deal some pure grade A Colombian ice cream to the boys on the docks. How about fighting both sides of a gang war? I really enjoyed both the Cuban and Haitian missions, so I was glad to finally do them. The RC planes gave me a little trouble in Bombs Away, but other than that it was smooth sailing. Less than smooth sailing was the Boatyard asset though. I really never had as much problem with Checkpoint Charlie as I did here. I don't know if it's the keyboard controls or what, but I had so many problems controlling boats my entire time playing. The final asset that I'd never done before was the film studio. Dildo Dodo was the reason. Not that I'm scared of the little seaplane, come on, that'd be silly. But in this mission you're flying around dropping off flyers, and one of the places you need to fly to is the airport. As scared as I was to even be anywhere near the airport back then, I was 3 times more scared to be anywhere near whilst flying in a plane that can't be stopped as easily as a car. But now it was time to face some music. It gave me a couple of problems, with one of them ironically being at the airport. Eventually I managed it though, and it was actually a lot of fun. G-Spotlight caused me some troubles too. Constantly falling off the bike and then having it burst into flames made it harder than it should have been. But I did it, and that leaves me with only one asset left. The Printworks is something I'm very familiar with. It's an asset that you need to own to finish the game, so it goes without saying that I've done these missions enough time to be comfortable with them. Extract some information from a Frenchie, then steal some plates from a gang of girls, and it's done. This unlocks the final 2 missions of the story. so let's get them out of the way. Alright, to celebrate becoming the king of the city, let's go murder a bunch of people. Finishing off the rampagers was fun, I like them a lot. Except this one at the port. It suffered from the same problem as an earlier one, where the required amount of vehicles wouldn't even show up, but I got there in the end. Taxi time, a very tedious thing required to complete the game, because you need to do 100 fares. 100. It took me an hour and a half, but thankfully, as I'm sure you know, the radio stations in this game are probably the best from all the GTA games, so I managed to stay sane while doing it. I went around buying up all the safe houses, did some PCJ stunts, and then robbed all the stores. Let's cross another chopper checkpoint off the list too, before doing a couple of RC races. All pretty simple stuff, even if I messed up a few times. Heading downtown to do the 2 dirt track challenges now. 2 laps in the dirt bike, which was fine, and then 2 laps with the Landstalker. Here comes the final checkpoint and oh, well, better take it a little easier next time. How about saving some lives now? I'm a man of peace, I'm done killing. The firefighter side mission was a bit of a pain, but just a bit. Simply because the controls for the water cannon are mapped to the numpad. I would have much preferred to be able to aim and shoot with the mouse. I got unlucky when a Haitian managed to pull me out of the truck, meaning I had to start again, and then got unlucky with spawns very far apart, including having to chase burning cars and people around the bloody airport. You couldn't write this stuff. Oh well, I feel pretty confident at this point. As long as they didn't get too far away into the path of an oncoming plane, I'll be fine. The street races were actually really fun, although I was using one of the best cars and utilising a little cheap tactic to start the races in first position instead of last. Less fun were the remaining 2 chopper checkpoint challenges. The helicopter controls just aren't enjoyable. But with those out of the way, I was left with only 2 things left to complete. The 36 unique stunt jumps and 1 final RC mission. I started in Ocean Beach and worked through all the stunt jumps on that side of the map before moving into the downtown area, then Little Haiti and Little Havana, leaving just 9 stunt jumps at the airport. Also at the airport is the final RC mission, flying this little helicopter all around my least favourite place to hit a bunch of markers. Flying under planes, crossing the active runway and trying not to crash were all challenges, as this little chopper handled way more sensitively than any other in the game. But I made it. Whew. So finally it was time to end this once and for all, to achieve what I never have, to show these damn planes who's boss, to prove to myself that I can do it. There. I know this whole thing probably seems stupid to all of you. Heck, I agree. It is ridiculous that I was ever scared of not even real aeroplanes, but honestly, I'm really proud of myself. To actually set myself the seemingly impossible goal of 100% completing this game, knowing what that meant with the airport, and then actually doing it. I went from this, my first visit to the airport a few weeks ago, barely getting anywhere near the planes, to now happily doing stunt jumps and flying around them. And what's the reward for all this work? A crappy t-shirt. Oh, and a sense of personal freedom. Thanks for watching.